So, from a non-musician's standpoint, what was that? Is that in the jazz genre? What is that? Tell me about it.
That
What's its ontology?
ontology is music. That is music. In the, I would say probably the blues genre.
Mm-hmm.
And what I did, so I'm thinking about teaching music
Yes.
during the day, just to add a little bit of money coming in.
Cool.
And so I'm just thinking about like how I want to teach stuff and coming up with my own
Rigel Thurston.
Rigel's material. Yeah.
Material.
And so what I mean, there's two hands doing very separate things
Yeah.
at the same time, which can be pretty daunting.
Exactly. How do you get to that? Because that is. I mean, yes, I understand that through typing. I'm beginning to get that to happen. But it for a long time it was.
Yeah. So I mean, this would probably be more of the intermediate level.
Yeah.
But what's happening is we have a bass line in the left hand going. So it's two similar phrases. So the first phrase is, and the second phrase is just a little hitch in there, like ba, ba.
Yeah.
And then the right hand is just going ba 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 ba. It's the same thing, but together it creates like this fun little groove. So it's kind of like a blues groove, if you would, like. And then there's little stylizations that I'll throw in where I'll roll my left hand. I'll do that. So it gives it like this growl, kind of like. So like. Gives that little growl. So it's actually fairly simple stuff, but then put together, it's more complicated.
But that's like so many combinations that can grow into, because I found each little piece that you did more and more interesting, and it had its own. That's what I love about you teaching me music. You're teaching me to understand aspects of music that I either would just kind of pass over, where I would hear some, but now I'm listening at a deeper level when I listen to musicians.
Yeah. Good.
That's really cool. Yeah. I was thinking about this the other day and talking about how there is this whole band of talent, of people that reach a certain level of talent, and then then there's the lottery, the universal lottery, where every once in a while one of these people within this talent band is picked out and brought up into the lottery, and they win the lottery and they get the millions and millions of dollars and millions of fans, but they're selected out of this band of this group of talented people, and that there's not really, I'm not even sure that there's a way to work that or a formula for winning the lottery any more than there is for some mathematical term for winning the lottery. But what I believe is that we could, in this reality, and using the laws of large numbers and the internet and all, find ways where musicians and artists and performers and actors and writers can make a living.
Yeah.
A living. Healthcare, food, a roof over our heads, a place, tools to be able to create and make a living.
Yeah.
That there is a way, and that we as human beings can nurture the artists in order to do that. We can find out ways to with incremental contributions, subscriptions, pieces, use parts of our incomes in order to be able to do that. I think that's a model that we can aspire to, so that we have actors and we have actors that are regional actors that can have performers and musicians that can have an income, a livable wage.
Yeah.
And it's just a way of us figuring out how to think about that, and both of us are doing it.
Well, I think your imagery of having these layers. So what was the top layer that you said?
Just the lottery. That's the lottery picks. The ones that just happen to be plucked out, and they get, and we all think that, well, that's what we need to aspire to.
Yeah.
But that's the lot. Whether we get there or not is going to be the lottery. It's not a function of what our talent is or what the gifts are or what we are.
Right. So that word lottery makes me think of the word viral, which is like, I feel like between 1990 or probably 1970. I don't know when the lottery became super popular, but probably the 70s to like the mid 2000s.
Sure.
Like lottery was the highest possible gift of God.
Win the lottery.
Yeah, win the lottery. And now I think like the new word is viral. Like, we just need something to go viral. And it's the same like departure from reality. It's just like this hoping for something it's like hoping to get struck by lightning, which I have no control over.
No. I've had something interesting happening, and I want to talk about this in the middle of when it's not in the middle, but somehow it's happening. I start off my Facebook posts and my Twitter feeds with "Hello world, it's me, Dennis." Mm-hmm. It's just what I've been doing. I've been doing for a couple of years.
Yeah.
So I'm going down the street with Melissa. We go down to we're going to a garage sale. Mm-hmm. And we're looking around, and the people who have the garage sale, and I introduce myself, and he goes, "Oh, you're hello world, it's me, Dennis."
Oh.
Somebody I don't know, somebody I'm not friends with.
Whoa.
And and Melissa just looked at me like what is this? So this was a thing. It happened. Well, 2 weeks, a month later or so, I'm at Toastmasters, and some Toastmaster I'd never seen before. And we come and introduced me, and he goes, "You're hello world, it's me, Dennis. You're famous." I have no idea why two people completely disparate, completely disconnected would make that, would do that. And it was that weird sensation. So I'm thinking about on the way to becoming a meme. Yeah. How does that happen? I don't know. But all I know, I'm going to keep posting. I know that I have to post. Mm-hmm. You know that expression, dance as if no one was watching, sing if no one is listening. Well, post as if nobody is watching. Because the instant I begin to post, because I'm trying to shape, it's so weird. It's like when I'm performing and I'm doing comedy, if I am trying to get a reaction from the audience, if I'm just telling a story,
Yeah.
it's alive. It's
Yeah.
it's that there's such a subtle thing. So the only way I can do this, whether or not it happens again or whatever, I'm not going to worry about. But I'm just going to keep posting. I know that there's something there because it happened twice, and I'm just gonna try to stay in the present, like I see you stay in the music.
Yeah. I think that's a killer branding story because, and I know branding has been a bad word for years, but it's in certain circles, like, who know branding. Branding is a good word because it's about like finding one's values and like building around that into like a bite-size thing that's like, this is Dennis, and it communicates exactly who you are wherever you go, whether it's Facebook or at a garage sale, and you're not faking anything there.
No, I go, hello
Dennis.
world, it's me, Dennis, wherever I am. That is who I am. That is the...
And so it like, I'm tying this to my, this idea about tiptoeing up to teaching.
Yeah.
Which has been a little bit of a fear. I mean, this is one more fear we're facing. One more fear we're facing. And a lot of it has been like, what business do I have teaching? Like, I haven't really mastered anything. I half-ass lots of things. I don't complete things. You know, like all these, the voices, crowd of kind of drunk on criticism.
Oh, oh, that's wonderful.
This is like one more.
My God, give me let me have one more. Here, you have one. Give him one on me.
Well, you have to
we'll
do this.
do that. My God.
Exactly. And so, and I talked about this with my friend who is a piano teacher, my friend Graham. And he was like, Rigel, why don't you just teach without a book? And I was like, that makes a lot of sense to me, because that's how I do it. I can't teach by the book because I've never been by the book. But what I can teach is how I connect to the piano, which is like, to a degree, an extension of my body. So that if I'm feeling contemplative, you know, I can play a contemplative chord. Or, you know, something a little more upbeat and happy. And I'm learning about how to be more connected to the piano and like listen to everything that's happening besides just the notes I'm playing, but how they're holding out and listening for all the other sounds that are happening. And so I'm on the the learning curve myself.
That's wonderful. I've never known a great teacher that wasn't.
Yeah, that's a good point. So that's another thing. I can teach curiosity.
That's
I feel like that's something that I see missing in a lot of the by the book methods, is people aren't teaching curiosity, and then the skills to pursue that curiosity, so that if I hear something in my head, like, I can go and pick it out. Or I play something, and I can sing it. Or if I hear something on the radio, I haven't turned on a radio in years. Podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
If I listen to music somewhere, I can pick it out and steal it and use it, because that's what it's all about.
Isn't it?
It's just stealing it,
Yeah.
and using it, making it my own.
That's right. I mean, that's what that's what you. Everything is iterative, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
That is so cool. That is so cool. So, all right. Well, let's dream this thing. Let's just say, okay. Let's say there never was a piano book. There never was a piano method. So you were starting from scratch. What might that look like?
Well, I was thinking about this yesterday a little bit, and I want the piano, or whatever instrument, my voice, really I am the instrument. And the piano is a machine.
Absolutely. Like a pencil.
Like a pencil, exactly. Exactly. So I want to teach, like, I want the piano to be a friend. So I was thinking about naming my piano some sort of name that means friend. Like in French.
Good.
Ami. Or Miko. Which is like a short version of Italian.
Yeah.
Amico.
Yeah.
Amico. Anyways. So not fearing the piano, but thinking of it as a friend.
Yeah.
And building like pathways of friendship in my brain with the piano. So when I sit down, I'm not like fearing my life and fearing mistakes.
Yeah.
The whole mistakes mentality. Which is something one of my first jazz teachers taught me. He actually wrote a book called "There's No Such Thing as a Mistake." It's a jazz, just like a jazz theory book, basically. So I would want to, I think, bring that into it somehow.
What I like about that, Rigel, is that very often I will think I know why I'm doing something. You know, there is a goal, there is something there, something that, you know, why I'm doing it. But that doesn't turn out to be the reason why once I do it. So I find the more I put into doing it without having a specific idea of exactly why I'm doing it. For example, what if there were lessons? What if there was something to learn here from thinking about teaching? And that is going to lead to something that you cannot see unless you entered into the process of discovering how to take this apart and put it into something that was digestible and understandable. And what if there was something there for you that you cannot see. But going through the process, going on the journey, you're going to encounter it. It's something that neither one of us can know.
Yeah. I think I hear what you're saying. Yeah, like...
I mean, we can have a reason. We can think, oh yeah, I want to make a living at this, and I'd like to have some more money coming in, and I'd like to do, and those are good things. Those are good things that could come out of this, no question about it. And there are some gifts that would come out of this, understandings, awarenesses, something. I don't know. We'll see what it is.
Yeah.
That will be the value of going on that journey.
Yeah. Well, and I think my core values for what I'm doing with my life is music, story, and community. And I'm so glad that I decided on some core values, because it's helped me tie everything that I'm doing back to like a synergistic it's just bringing the pieces closer together, and they're gonna touch, and then it's gonna make fire.
Yep.
And I have some ideas of where it could go, but I also don't. There's probably things out there that I haven't thought of, and places that it can go. But I think teaching is just like an extension of what I'm already like. It's just one of these next steps that I have to do.
Absolutely.
And I think it ties it. Like another part of this is I want to teach people how to make music, not compose. My friend said stay away from the word compose because that'll freak people out, but teach people how to make music. And then that ties into my 100 Days of Songwriting, which I already have a community going there. And then what if, I have students that are connected to that, and here they are learning how to play stuff, and then they come up with something that they get to a point where they feel like they can actually post something, and they have this like hyper encouraging community of people who are like, they've already been through the trenches of 100 days or 100 days, and they're like, thank you for sharing, you're one of us. So that sense of belonging, I think, is really key to this.
Yeah.
Belonging to a community of creative people. Boy, that's 25 minutes already.
Isn't that wonderful?
Can you believe that?
That is our opportunity to get so immersed in the conversation, to get so involved in our creative process that time just becomes one of the things that I've been thinking about, and I'm hoping that anyone that watches this podcast can help me to think about it, is that I've been trying to wonder if the past, there's any test I could do that could prove the past was real, that it actually happened. Or is it a construct of my imagination? Like when you look at a film, you have 24 frames a second. Well, those are still frames. The brain puts them together. When it goes out the brain is able to put it together, and it looks like motion. Well, what would it be if there were no such thing as the past? If the past was merely a construct of my consciousness. It was just a construct. And that the future merely existed in potential, which means that we could affect it more. Because depending upon whatever we pay attention to, whatever we observe comes into being. It drops from potential into being. And that the only thing that exists is the present, the eternal present moment.
Eternal present moment. Yeah. That sounds, yeah. This is a whole nother conversation, but I've been listening to Alan Watts, and I'm like loving every moment of it. And he's talking, right now he's talking about space and time and constructs of the mind. Space and time and constructs of the mind. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, so we will segue that into our next, continue in our conversation, and you can teach me what you learned about the teaching process and what awarenesses come to you. You've already built an audience. You've already built people who are following you. We'll move it to that next level.
Yeah. All right.
Well, play us out.
Well, I'll play that blues riff in context of a blues.
Yeah.
I said every day I have the blues, man. I said every day I have the blues, baby. Well, you see me worried, baby, 'cause it's you I hate to lose.